Hi, greetings. You know, I don't do all that ding 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 my little music. You know I got music and everything, but I don't feel like all that. So greetings. Hi, I'm Dr. Ask Dr. Mirasenko Kwali. Um, so let's first talk about a couple of things before I get started with talking about Jasmine. Now, y'all know I make candles. Here's a candle. This is actual candle. And this type of a candle, I will put something like this in here. This is a candle as well, and I'll put something like this in here. You know, that's a candle I made. Um, this is a candle that I made. You can see the coloring. You see that? Um, and this is one of those weird little candles that I made, y'all. Anyway, so let's talk about it as I begin to start showing y'all candles that I make. And this is like one of my it does actually have a thing. This is my personal candle. This is on, I do have some on sale, but this is my personal candle. It was a wooden stem, but it broke off. So that's the reason why it's not my personal candle, because I don't want to sell it like that, because I had a wood, it just kind of broke off because I was transferring it from here to here. And here's another leaf candle that I make. See, this has this, where you can burn it. Has the wicks. And this is the moon. I make these candles myself. And this is another candle. This is a flower candle that you can put one of those candles in. Anyway, so enough about me, but let me just show y'all this candle. Okay, we're gonna talk. These are all for sale on my website. If you go to my website, you can purchase it. Now, let me just show y'all this candle, these two candles. And I did these candles for a baby shower. I have a couple of my clients that see. And then what you see, the little funny color, that's actually flowers that I put in candles. I make my candles with flowers at times. And this is one of my favorite candles. And this is gold. And as you can see, flowers at the top. Anywho, let me go ahead and do my talk. So I was thinking about this earlier. I was in one of my homegirls' lives. This is my couple candle. Okay. And they smell good. They come with fragrances, by the way. So my candles do have a great smell to them. Y'all saw my used candles. I wanted to show y'all some fresh candles. Anyway, so let's talk about it. So a couple of things. You know, I know a lot of times when y'all have met me into a lot of my homegirls chats, and y'all see me talking a lot of stuff because it is what it is. I like to laugh and joke and stuff like that. That's kind of what I do, right? And it is what it is. However, I began to start really thinking about it today. I probably should have combed. I didn't brush my hair all the way down today. Um, so I had thought about it. I really thought about a couple of things in conversations, right? One of the things I thought about my jazzy life. Let's just get right to the point. Since I showed y'all some of the candles that I said, y'all can go to www.euphoricenergyllc.com and get those candles. So a couple of things I've been thinking about. And the thing is, as a life coach, and when clients come to me, I don't necessarily judge them. I just try to help them to see a better way of doing something initially. if they're doing really good and they don't necessarily need help in that area, then we don't necessarily we highlight that. I make sure that I highlight that. But there is a such thing as truth. You can be truthful with someone without insulting them. And I do that. Um, you know, and so in viewing or thinking about my Jazzy's life, because I thought about her today as I was in the chat room today, at my homegirls chat. And so I was really thinking about like some advice. I'll talk about the advice in a minute. Let's first view something real quick. Let's view how, on the terms of how she is looked, how the situation is with her and Chris relationship. That's what I kind of would like to talk about. The appearance of it. Not based off gossip in that respect, but based off things that come out of her mouth. Not based off anything else. So let's take it from there. So the advice will go into details on that. Okay. So let's talk about it. Now, one of the things that I noticed is that she makes it a point of saying, and again, do keep in mind that everybody has their own unique relationship. Everybody has certain things or certain things, for me that may have been tradition now has pretty much changed. For example, in a lot of people's homes, certain people, the man works, the man is the breadwinner, the woman takes her money and whatever. But the man pays predominantly the bills. That's in a lot of homes, and that's traditionally the home that I grew up in, and that's the home that I'm not going to tell you my business, but I'm a stay-at-home mom. Let's just leave it at that. Let's just say that, okay? So that's somewhat what I see. And again, that is no judgments. If you have a household where you all are splitting 50-50, or if that person is, or you are doing more as the female and the male is doing less. So that does happen in this today. It's no judgment. I don't really have judgment for that, because you have to work out in your home the way that you want to work out in your home. But thinking back to how we met Chris, and based about how we met Chris, it was a bit it was weird the way she brought him out. And to me, and I know some of y'all gonna be really mad at what I want to say, I think that it was unfair to him. Regardless to, yes, we know he has children, that, not my words, based upon what the children mothers say. And sometimes, yes, children mothers and children fathers lie. That happens, right? However, based upon what they said, that he is not really in their lives the way that he should be financially or in a physical sense, right? And based upon some of the things that she has said, she basically tells on him and says that in so many words through her actions. So let's go back to how she introduced him. And based upon how she introduced him into the mommy community, it was fairly not very positive, because number one, her channel itself wasn't in the best light. And it's not because, and then it's not because, there are family channels that have different things. And if it's a family channel, more than likely, as we all know and as we all say, we are here to look at the children. We look at, and some of us are here to get, if you're an influencer, we're here to get certain tips from you, certain mommy tips, maybe certain wardrobe tips, how you do your hair, the hair products you use on your children hair, on your hair. We look at things of how you clean up with the cleaning products that you use. I know that's why I look at a lot of channels for entertainment, and I look at it for those purposes that I'm naming. Also maybe certain lifestyles we look at channels for their lifestyles, and to find out what they're doing and how maybe we could improve our lives, or maybe just for pure entertainment. Let's be honest, okay? So, but when Jasmine states that she's an influencer, these are the things that I look for. Okay, so when I look for someone talking about that they're an influencer, and when I think about it, when you look at people's channels, especially family channels, just like with celebrities, right? So with celebrities, we'll look for the style, the fashion, etc., music, whatever it is that they do. And then we also think about how people interact with their relationships. And that's one of the key points that we notice about Miss Jazzy Life, my Jazzy Life, is that her interaction with Chris. And one of the things that she is failing on is he's asking her to stop filming him. That's number one. So if you're in a relationship, you should abide by what people ask you to do. It's intrusive to keep filming someone who does not want to be filmed. Even when the children are having bad days, you should not film them. If they're in a certain mode, it's certain discussions that should not be had. We should not have discussions about the children had a bad day, or they're not feeling good, or whatever that they did at school. If they didn't do something good at school, if they're showing out, if they made a bad grade, or if they are getting put out of class, whatever the case is, that's their own business. Even sharing medical information about our children, we probably should kind of frame from that. We kind of have to be careful of that. And I know that a lot of times at the end it goes into the intentions of, are you doing that to I know a lot of children, a lot of us as women, if we have autistic children, we share about, hey, having an autistic child, blah 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 blah, things like that, because there's a lot of children in the world at this time, and a lot of, well, excuse me, a lot of mommies. How you doing, Miss Grace? There are a lot of women who are battling with autistic children or children with learning disabilities and so forth and so on. And when a woman shares this type of information, is for knowledge, for you to understand that this person has this child. And then it's like, okay, so while I'm sharing this knowledge, I'm also being able to afford to be able to stay at home so I can take care of my child, because it's hard to get them in certain programs, or you know what I mean. I want to be able to be here 24 hours a day, which makes sense. It's not to put people down who have family channels, but we just have to be careful with what we share. It's certain things that we have to be, it should be more knowledge based as opposed to exploitive, right? So if I were Jasmine, I would back up from showing the children as much. And I would not do any lives, but once a month. I would have controlled lives. The controlled lives would be basically after they go to sleep, not doing lives while they're awake. Because when you do that, you're asking for so much to happen. Let's go back to the relationship with Chris. The relationship with Chris is as follows. Yes, it is what it is with him, on the terms of the way that, he doesn't come off in the best light. We know that. he comes off unlikable, right? We see him as unlikable in most cases, but I try to put I try to look at it from a male point of view, right? It's kind of hard because I'm a female. I'm not trying to be a man, right? um so looking at it from certain aspects from a male point of view. Oh no, excuse me. No, let me not look at it from a male point of view. Let me go back. Let me go back to what I was saying. I'll tackle the male point of view in a minute. Let me go back. The relationship, for them to be in a relationship, based upon what she shows, because she shows her relationship, she shows this, and it's certain things that she says. For example, she says things like, number one, she tries to force people. He's already not really a likable guy, and she tried to force him down everybody's throat, which makes him even more unlikable because he doesn't like the camera. He doesn't like it, and I don't blame him. If you're in a relationship with someone and they don't have the best record on YouTube, it makes it all the world more impossible for you to really enjoy that particular person unless he comes off as a likable person. And what happened in this particular case, I should have wrote down some of my points, but they're in my head, and I'm just like thinking about other stuff. Y'all know I'm a Taurus, like we be like this. Um, so what happens in this particular relationship, the fact that she shares way too much about what's going on, and she leaves it up for people to do research on her. And then also what happens is the fact that she tells people that she told too much of her business to her so-called friends. And it's just certain things that as a friend, I mean, as a person in a relationship, you just don't tell, not even your mother. You don't tell certain aspects of your relationship to people because people feel like they have bones on you. And anytime y'all get ready to fall out, be prepared that they're gonna tell your business, which we see happen over time throughout in any sector. We know for a fact in any sector, you will see the following. You will always see when someone falls out with someone, they're gonna come to the internet, lie on them in some cases, or tell the truth, or exaggerate the truth and make it worse than what it really is or seems. Okay. So this happens over time. So that's another thing where she made a mistake. But going back to Chris, the fact that she basically had to say that she did not, that she, that, the fact that she said certain things, it just gives me the impression that sometimes, and I think I said this before, when you're in a relationship, regardless to what someone's past is, regardless of what your past is, what their past is, or whatever happened in previous relationships, you have to set the tone. This is the real point that I want to make tonight, y'all. Now listen to me, hear me out. You have to set the tone. And I'm not perfect, okay? But you have to, I'm perfect for me though. You have to set the tone for your own relationship. You have to set the tone for how you want people to treat you. And that's anywhere in life. That's business wise, that's work wise, that's family wise. You have to set the tone for how you want people to treat you. And if a person continues to treat you like crap, then you have to make some decisions. So regardless of whatever Chris did previously, when he got with her, she should have set the tone. She just don't allow the fact that he laughed at her when he called her, they called her radio in the chat, even if that was funny, and that's something they could have laughed at later on together, but that was a trigger for her because, like she said, her mama used to call her like that. And that's not a really, you know people laughed at that, but that's not really a good feeling that your mother would call you radio, regardless. I mean, it's not like you called a complete stranger. Not we all probably at some point said, "Yeah, girl, he act like radio." But your own child, right? And then for your own man to laugh at that being a trigger for you in front of everybody. So right there, she set the tone. And then when they was playing and he was trying to throw water on her, it's just the whole tone set. And I don't think she got it because she thought that they were playing, that it was a joke and that type of thing. And in certain ways that you want to show your mate how it's certain things you just don't like, and then to do it in front of other people. It's certain things. We all have our own judge that we deal with our mates. It's certain things that I might say to my husband or in my family. I might, like I'm playing, I'm like, you suck. I say something like that to, somebody. I'm like, girl, you suck. Or, and certain things I say to my bio mom to just her in our own privacy, and we laugh, or she say something to me, she like, girl, she'll call me a big head or something, and I'm like, no, your head's bigger, and then we'll just kind of have a thing, but we just don't do it in front of everybody, you know what I mean? Well, I just did it, but you know what I mean, you know what I'm talking about. I'm just making a point how it's certain things that in a relationship that you should be careful of doing, because once a person sees that they can disrespect you, that they can treat you a certain way, they're going to keep on doing it, especially in the beginning. You have to set the tone in the beginning of a relationship. You have to set the tone of how you want to be treated. In the beginning of a relationship, you have to decide, do you want to be a queen? Do you want to be treated like a queen? Do you want to be treated like a doormat? Do you want to be treated like radio? Do you want to be treated as if you are that you're okay to pay half the bills? You have to set the tone for that, and then you have to set the energy of you. You also have to go back into allowing a man to be a man. If a man's with you and you make excuses for him not being a man, then guess what? You're treating him like his mother would treat him. Stereotype of how his mother would treat him. So you have to force a man to either, as they say, either shit on the pot or get off, right? So you have to be careful of how you allow someone to devalue your worth. And over time, now, based upon what he shows on the internet, I'm not even going off like what Live Life has said. I'm not going off of what Strong Mama Creasy said, what anybody says. But based off the videos, he does not show a whole lot of respect for her intellect. He does not show a lot of respect for her mommy. He does not show a whole lot of respect for a lot. He does not show a respect for her, that this is being her job. This is how she brings her money. He's not show a lot of respect for even his children, even the children that is in that household, based off the video. He does not show a lot of respect about to her subscribers, to the people that are supporting her supporters. I mean, forget like her naysayers, right? But it's about her supporters. And when people are her supporters, it's a certain way that you want to act. And I'm not saying you should go around kissing people's butt, but think about it like this: people are there to see her children. And probably her too in some cases. Some people may be there to see her. I don't know. I'm not gonna go there. But the advice is keeping him off the channel. And if he is going to be on her channel, then he knows she has a predominantly female audience. And the men that watch probably doing commentating, or they're watching because their women are watching it, right? So it's a certain way that he has to react. And because he don't know how to be fake, or he don't know how to be likable, it makes all the world sense for him not even be on the channel. And then too, she has to stop trying to prove to everybody this is what it is. And it's okay to clear up things. on a certain level. It's okay to clear up, like, for example, like I have, legit businesses, and I have legitimate clients. I have to prove, and then I have a healing center. I have to prove. That's okay. I might do a everybody, somebody might say, hey, you don't have your own healing center. You don't have no healing center. You don't have no space that you have your business in. I can easily go there one day. I don't, without me saying anything, and just obviously y'all know this room is not purple. My healing center is purple. So if y'all see me in a purple rooms, and I can just kind of walk around and just talk about whatever I need to talk about. I don't necessarily have to talk about it. I'm just showing y'all this is what it is. So certain levels, because sometimes when you always have to prove yourself to somebody, you have to keep doing that throughout your life. And really just trying to prove things to yourself is more important than trying to prove things to everybody, because Jasmine has to prove everything to everybody in her life. She has to prove, but yet has not proven to herself that she should feel a value about herself. She'll speak the role. She'll say, hey, I got value. Hey, I'm the bomb. Hey, I'm okay. But yet she does not prove it in her actions. Hey, I'm a good mom. I'm doing my best. She does not prove it in her actions. Right. And it's just the point that what's happening, and Lovely T talked about this. We know Tim Moore talked about this, and just all across the board. I was watching this news channel, and they were talking about it was like an actual news channel. I can't recall it, but I'm subscribed to it. How you doing? I don't need no man telling me I do. I was watching this news channel, and they were talking about the that there's getting ready to be some laws that come out in regards to these family channels, because they have this already in Hollywood. So they get ready to start having it, and Jasmine has to be careful of that. What she don't understand is a lot of the things that she's doing, because children have to be able to benefit off of you exploiting them like that. Just like y'all remember Gary Coleman. Remember how Gary Coleman was working so hard for his family, and his family were his managers or whatever, and he was working really hard doing different strokes, and he was doing movies. He was appearing on The Facts of Life. He had a lot of different appearances on movies, channels, commercials. He was working from a very high age. I think it was like 3 or 4 or 5 or something like that. He was doing commercials, and he was working all the way up until like in his 20s, something like that. And to make matters worse, he found out that when he hit, I think he was at 21 or 18. I can't remember what age he hit, but he hit an adult age. Let's call it an adult age. And when he hit that adult age, he realized that his parents basically spent all his money. He didn't have no kind of savings for them. And so what has to happen with these mommy channels, they're going to have to, especially if you are using your children for content, you're going to have to actually pack some money aside. I'm not saying Jasmine's not doing that, but more than likely doesn't come across, because she's always saying she's broke. And at some point in time, she's going to have to, how you doing, Miss Queen B? Hi there. What's up, chat? What's up to her? Y'all say what's up. Y'all say what's up to each other. So, at some point in time, we have to, you have to understand something, even like us as non-content creators. I'm not a content creator. I'm just up here talking, y'all. But at some point in time, like even with us who have children, just your normal everyday Joe Blow, Carol, you should set up a college fund or some kind of fund for your children, no matter what it is. If it's $2,000 by the time they get older, or savings bonds, or some type of something where you can cash them in, or send them some money at very least. You know what I'm saying? Be able to have something where if they decide to do this or they decide to do that, you will have some type of savings. And sometimes with you young mothers, sometimes we don't think about that kind of stuff. And when the older you get, the older you see, like, oh well, I should have did this. What have you missed? Nothing. Just I was just talking. I was just talking some good stuff about looking at things from a different perspective, about Jasmine shoving Chris down our throats and different things like that. But yeah, I talked a little good stuff. So in a lot of cases, we have to be careful about, making sure that we can provide for, because you got to think about like this. Think about a lot of times you hear about people when they have even insurance, even having life insurance. When people pass, if you do a tragic end, your children have to have, even having a place for your children so they don't have to go to state, having a place where your children can go and live if something were to happen to you or your mate or whatever. So creating a financial something where they have a little something, not just being able to bury you, but also them having some type of financial something, a little something, where they can at least get a car when they turn 16, at least that, or maybe they can get a way to be able to go to college or whatever it is that they want to do. But I think a lot of times, this it seems like because of YouTube and the internet, a lot of people have low aspirations. They're not really into, you talk to people nowadays, and I do talk to a lot of people, and the first thing a lot of people say that they want to do is YouTube. They'll say, I want to do YouTube, or I want to do TikTok, and I went to the mall. Yeah, I don't even go to the mall for real, but my children wanted to go to the mall, so I went to the mall with me and my husband. And it was this grown man outside doing TikTok, and it's just like, and it's fine. It's no knock to him, but the point I'm trying to make is that not many people have aspirations of doing something greater and better for themselves. The first thing you do talk to people is, back in the day, it'd be like, I want to play basketball. I want to be a rapper. I want to play basketball. A little while, not even back in the day, like a little while ago, they was like basketball, rapper. And it's like, okay, well, what you gonna do if neither one of those don't take off? You know what I mean? Do you have anything else? Because YouTube can shut down tomorrow. And a lot of these folks is going to be in trouble. They're going to have to get real jobs. And so why not live in your purpose already? Why not live in your purpose? Why not do other things besides just that? Because at times, it's been times where I was trying to get a little extra money, and I do have businesses, but sometimes I have slow times. Y'all, I'm going to be honest with y'all. Sometimes I have slow times where I'm not making as much as I've made, in these following months or this month or whatever the case is. And I want a little extra spending money. I might want to go shopping. Y'all like to shop, and I might want that a new Michael Kors purse coming out, and Michael Kors is always sending me a discount. They always sending me 10% off, 15% off, 20. I'm like, yes, a 70% off. I'm like, oh my God, I got to get that purse or whatever the case is, right? And I'm like, well, so I've DoorDash before, and then I did that. And that's no knock to anybody. I'm like, man, and I had to take my son with me because I'm like, my husband was at work, and I've done that. But again, I have a career. I have careers. One of my careers is being a stay-at-home mom, taking care of my son, making sure homeschooling him. That's a career. That's a job within itself. And it's certain levels of, I had thought about, at one point in time, I thought about doing a YouTube channel. These people these days just don't live in the moment, just live in the moment, literally. That's it. Never ever thinking about, that's the other thing. Drops a drop of a dime. You must be prepared always. Yes, you have to. People can drop at the end of the dime, could just drop. And so it's just, I listened to Jasmine. I remember one time she said, well, her daughter's gonna start a YouTube channel. Would they support her? And I was like, yes, your daughter, what she want to do is just do YouTube. How about you? And I know you do YouTube, right? Why don't you? And you know how hard it is for you. Why you want to make it hard for your children? Because you know they're going to get the other children are cruel now. So why don't you give my son is 7, and he never asked me could he do YouTube. He did talk about one time he wanted to do a video. He wanted to do a video. He asked me could he do he wanted to do a gaming channel. And I was like, talk to daddy about that. Cause he's like, why mommy? I said, because I have my own thoughts about that. He said, well, I have my own business, I have my own cleaning business. I'm like, yeah, but you don't do it all the time. You know what I mean? I mean, you can't do it all the time, you know? And he was like, but I have other things that I want to do in life. I just want to do that because I like gaming. I'm like, and of course, Daddy was like, "No, we're not. You're not. Get ready to sit up there and be with them predators and exploiting yourself and going through all them changes. No, we're not doing that, son." You know, Dad's like, "No." I'm like, ask your daddy. That was my way of getting him, for me not to look like the bad guy. You know, Daddy's never the bad guy. It's always mommy, right? Um, so on a lot of levels, we I just looked and I was like, wow, so she don't talk to her about maybe want to become a doctor, a scientist, a paleontologist, a foot doctor, a medical doctor, a eye, a esthetician, a hairstylist. I mean, it's or creating something totally different, anything. I mean, you going to college, you don't talk to because Jasmine went to college. So if you went to college, why wouldn't you encourage your children to want to go to college? You know, even now, sometimes when you don't, just because a person may not, and I'm not saying this in her case, but just because a person may not do good in school does not in high school or grade school or junior high does not mean that they're not going to do really good in college. You'd be surprised. Some of the people that didn't do good in high school did excelente in college. I have to be honest. I didn't have life insurance when my mom died in 2020. And the way that she had to be laid to rest because of no insurance, it crushed me. So I ran and got life insurance. It's like that. I mean, you live and you learn. The point is, listen, that is not no knock. Listen, you learn from your mistakes. I don't want to say mistakes. Let me I take that back. I apologize. You learned from what happened to your mom to not do it again. I mean to not have to go to that through that yourself, to leave loved ones behind and have to take care of things. I mean, sometimes you never know. You never know what might happen. And the thing is, and we don't always have control over someone else's affairs though. You know what I mean? So, and furthermore, I'm sorry for the passing of your mom. I also lost one of my moms, but that's a whole nother story. I have two mothers and two fathers. It's just weird. I'm just different. So, and I'm okay with it. But anywho, so I just thought about that. I said, well, why wouldn't you want to plan? And then, especially by her doing YouTube, she would need to plan, be happy to plan, and see. And then also see the kicker thing also is with um in certain cultures they already have, like in their household they could have seven, no, let's say 5 children, and they could be like, okay, little Bobby, you're gonna give you this we're gonna give you this thermometer, and we want you to be a doctor. And then you put him on the road to becoming a doctor, even in poor families, okay, even so-called poor families. um and then little Joseph, um I'm gonna give you a cat and you take care of this cat, and I'm gonna give you a lot of different other animals, and you become a veterinarian. And little Janice, why don't you become a farmer, or go and a gardener and grow plants and things like that, and also grow food. Then you have this other kid named Renee, and Renee is like, ooh, I like to make jewelry. I like to make jewelry. Look at me. I'm gonna make jewelry, and you give them the jewelry set. And then you have another child that, hey, you need to be a fashion designer. And a lot of cultures, they will put certain things in the children's hands so they could already become that. And I think that's good, and I think it's good about that, and I think it's something bad about that as well. What's bad about that is that you're kind of forcing the child to do something they may not want to do when they get older, and they may not be where they want to go, and you may end up pushing them in to unhappiness, because that's not something they want to do in their life. The good thing is the fact that you are caring, and that you want your child to not be in the streets, and you want your child to do something and be great, and even if they may not. So the thing is, we have to be careful about pushing them into doing things they may not want to do, or pushing them not to do things at all, besides not having any aspirations of doing something greater. So even with me having my son go to jitsu, I made sure he wanted to. I said, because he was just certain things he did. I was like, well, he more than likely want to take up like jitsu, or some type of martial arts, right? So he was like, yeah, well, yeah, so he want to do it. So he every time we have to go, he was like, mommy, come on, let's go, we gotta go, let's go, right? So we have to be careful with that. We have to find out what our children like to do besides just a normal thing. And even especially in our culture, we don't, it's always stereotypical. Let's be honest, it's stereotypical, and this is not to put anybody, it's stereotypical to dance. Go dance. Go get that ball. You know what I mean? Any type of sports. We're our children, handing them a ball, making them dance, and things like that. Not really giving them aspirations of anything else. Now, if they good at dancing, then I mean, what it is, it is. But always, we want our children. Excuse me, my alarm going on. We want our children to be able to have something differently. Maybe finding creating a patent a product, like a scientist creating, how much stuff we are engineering, we don't have enough of our children in the field of engineering. I know I'm going on this rant about some other stuff, but it's truthful, right? So when I was younger, my mother wanted me to be a teacher. I did not want to be a teacher because I did not want to deal with everybody else's children. I did not want to deal with everybody else's children for various reasons, because people children act up. Um, and actually, I did. you know, I do teach people how to do how to do metaphysical stuff. Anything in the metaphysical genre, I teach people how to do. I certify people to do things like that. So I am actually, and then my mother, at one point, my mother wanted me to be a doctor. She wanted me to be a medical doctor. I'm not a medical doctor. I'm a metaphysician. Okay. so, not quite there, you know what I mean? But she introduced me to it. You understand what I'm saying? So, it's certain things that she should encourage her daughter to do, and even showing her how to do editing. Maybe showing the little girl how to edit, and she can edit all her friends' videos. Maybe that, and then charge them. Why be behind? Sometimes being behind the camera, you get paid better than being in front of the camera. I'm just saying for the record. And we see that in Hollywood, right? The directors, the writers not making much. You know what I mean? The cameraman and the actors not making as much. They're not making as much as the director. You know, wouldn't that make sense? So it's certain things that we have to encourage our children to go outside the box. Is what I'm trying to say. How about introducing her children to go outside of the box? You know, it's so stereotyped nowadays to do YouTube. Everybody wants to do on YouTube. Everybody wants to get it on here and be like, everybody want to get it on there and do YouTube. And everybody, hell, I'm on YouTube so I can promote my some of my businesses, like one of my candle business. And you know what I mean? That's why I'm really here. That's one of the things that prompted me to want to do YouTube. Here's a candle melt that I made myself. So it's a lot of little things that we that people are encouraged to do, and then my mother and them got to the point where they just like, please just do something with your life, because I got like so many certifications and so many associate degrees, like in the regular world, besides the metaphysical certifications that I got and PhDs that I got in the metaphysical world, right? But also in the so-called, I don't want to say real world, but in the normal place of business, I have which I don't even use computerized accounting. I don't really use that for real. That was back in like the 90s, and then I got a degree in information system specialist, micro computer something or another. Anyway, and those two degrees is in my closet. I don't even have them out. I mean, I'm just being honest, right? And then I got some other certification, claims processor. Uh, what else is that? I don't know, pharmacy technician. That pharmacy technician probably was the easiest certification I ever got. And now you have to go to school for it. Man, that was so easy back in the day, but that's another conversation for y'all. Nowadays you gotta pay like school money. You paying taking out loans to just get that now. But anyway, so the point I'm trying to say to you all is that you'll be surprised. Introducing your children to new things and encourage them to go outside the box and think outside the box. That's why I don't, my son is a out the box thinker. All of my children are. But but then they get around other people and they try to stay in the box. I'm like, no, go outside the box. Jasmine says YouTube is going to be her career for the next 20 years. I mean, if YouTube is even around in the next 20 years, because YouTube probably will get sued. And that's why a lot of big YouTubers are even the bigger YouTubers are creating their own platforms. They have other platforms that people can go to. They still have their YouTube channel, but they have other platforms that they use to have people to go to. Why? Because they see the writing on the wall. Because every time you turn around, YouTube has a new rule. YouTube has, next month, they'll make a rule tomorrow. Right? They make a rule the next day. They make a new rule the next day. And by the time you look up, you're violating all the rules and you'll be thrown off the platform pretty soon anyway. So I don't see, so I don't think YouTube has a lot of competition out there. It's just YouTube happens to pay more than a lot of the things. But that's not saying that other platforms won't begin to start raising their prices and paying people more and having less requirements. Right? And because now YouTube is getting fluctuated. It's getting very clustered, very crowded, very closing in on people because celebrities aren't really working right now. A lot of these writers aren't working. A lot of in Hollywood, a lot of actresses and actors aren't working, right? Because they're on strike. So guess where they're coming? They're coming to YouTube. So do you think that I would rather, okay, so if I was a regular Joe Blow, would I rather watch Halle Berry talking about how Hollywood is or giving me her makeup tip or doing a clean with me? Would you rather watch Halle Berry do a clean with me or would you rather watch my Jazzy Life do a clean with me? Just saying. Jasmine is so pathetic. And that's sad because she has a college degree which she hasn't never explored. And yeah, if I were her, I'm not saying she should. I'm not even telling her she should stop doing YouTube. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that she should do another channel where she's just doing workouts, showing people how to work out. Do you know how much? Do you know how much people will pay my Jazzy Life? Is she? Because I'm a certain. Believe it or not, y'all know I have not been on my juice, but I'm getting ready to get on it. I did hurt my foot, so I'm kind of walking around with a. I don't even want to show y'all. I'm walking around with a Okay. Because I hurt my foot. I dropped the weight on my foot. So I'm a certified. One of my certifications is I am a certified personal trainer, a certified nutritionist, and I'm a certified fitness coach. Right. So I mean, easily. So just imagine Jasmine got her whole other little degree that she went to college for. I did go to a school, but I didn't go to college for this. I got certified. She's she got a degree in hers. I don't have a degree. I have a certification in that, right? So just imagine if she did that or did that on her spare time and worked out with people and just took her children. She could take her children with us, except for the little baby. Possibly Chris would have to watch his child, and she could train people how to certify. Chris could even start him a little basketball league for little children, and he can make extra money. I mean, it's all kind of things they can do that's outside of YouTube, right? Because Jasmine know how to lose weight. Jasmine know how to lose weight, y'all. She just lazy. But Jasmine really does know how to lose weight. And then when she was playing basketball, I checked out her stat. Well, I didn't check it out. Somebody had it on their channel back in the day. And she actually was really good. She was pretty good, that's a whole nother conversation. But I'm just saying that she could really do a lot of things that would really help to boost her channel, and she can have a life outside of that, and that can also encourage her to meet new people that is outside of YouTube, that she could actually have more of a life. But again, I see that okay, so I was going back on the Chris thing, and I was just saying how that he doesn't come across like a likable guy, and it's because Jasmine showed him too soon and she showed him in a negative light. And maybe if she kind of kept him behind closed quarters, and it's certain things that when I'm on here, my husband, y'all might hear my husband in the background on occasion, but certain things, my husband is a man's, is a man. You know what I mean? And I'm not calling Chris not a man. I'm just saying that he's just, I don't know if because he's in a different generation. I really don't know how old Chris is, but it doesn't feel like he's not in his 40s, and he's more likely in his 30s. Okay. And he carries himself a little bit younger. Both of them actually carry themselves a little bit younger than what they are like in their 20s. And I'm saying is that when you are mature, it's a certain way that you carry yourself. And he already does not. And so you have to, in some cases where she listened to him for everything else, but when it comes to YouTube, she don't listen to him. Well, it doesn't teach her kids, and well, it doesn't teach her kids anything. Remember, she said she didn't know Maya could spell her name. Jazz is very lazy mom. Well, I saw a video recently, Amelia, where she was acting like she was helping her with her homework. And I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. I don't even feel like I do enough with my son and teaching him. And I homeschool him, and he's in a he's on an online school, and I homeschool him. I make him do, he does homework that he's assigned, and I also have my own thing where I give him his own school where I also homeschool him on things that he needs to know. And I still don't feel like I'm doing enough, but I can't 24 hours a day. I can, but that would really drain him, and it may make him hate school if all the time I'm making him do certain things. Yes, he's reading 24 hours a day. He don't have a choice around that. I mean, in life you do have to read. But on certain schoolwork, no. He probably do schoolwork honestly, and he's not even on online school as much. He's more homeschooled than anything. But I don't feel like I'm doing enough. um Jazz doesn't teach her kids. Yes, I agree. But I don't feel like I'm doing enough. So I imagine, because she's online so much, I don't see how they're learning. I don't see, normally you see a parent, you see them you giving them homework, or they're getting homework. Even if they don't bring home homework, she should make them do certain things, certain activities. Like they have, let me show y'all a couple of things. I just want to share a couple of things since we talk about school. Let me sure. I'm sorry. Give me a second here, y'all. Okay, that's for school. That's for his jitsu school. Excuse me. Okay, here I'm trying to find something. Okay, so for example, this was from kindergarten. I'm just gonna show y'all this. This is from kindergarten. I had made a package that I was gonna pass on to my grandchildren. In September, I'm gonna give it to them in September. I'm still working on it, but it's like a packet that he got this from his kindergarten. Um, Dr. A, I remember when Jasmine got a t-shirt press, there was no ambition. What did she do with it? Girl, I got a t-shirt press downstairs. I still don't know how to work it. I still don't. I need to really work on it. I swear. I got a t-shirt pressed down. I can't talk. I can't talk. I can't talk to me. I got a t-shirt pressed downstairs that I need to just get on the computer. I got that Cricut. That Cricut is just no, it's like when this one young lady was describing to me on what all I had to do, I said, that's too much work. I'm not doing all that. I just want something simple, just print something out. I cut it out. I don't feel like cutting it out this way, cutting it out. You gotta take some sticks and do that. I'm not doing all that. I just want to cut it out, press down the shirt. I can press. I'm not a press. That's easy. I got all of that, and I still don't use it. And this other lady said she was gonna show me how to do it. I mean, it's been like 3 people that told me they was gonna show me how to do it for free, and I'm just like, look, if it's got to be a lot of work, if you gotta show me how to do it, I don't even want to do it. And I'm probably going to sell my Cricut too machine. I'm probably going to sell it. That's probably what's going to happen, because I need something a little bit more simpler. Because I don't feel like thinking and doing all that. I just want to be able to do it, press some shirts, keep it moving. I don't want to think about it. Do you understand what I'm saying? If I gotta watch, then you gotta watch a video on how to do it. Listen, I already told you I got a computerized. I already got a computer degree, associate's degree in it, and I'm telling you, once I did not get hired in that field, in the exact field that I was going for, I got hired in different fields. Always insurance, healthcare. I do have a healthcare degree as well. That's a whole nother story. But them the only jobs that would hire me, the computerized accounting degrees. I mean, well, I got hired in accounting before too, but they never hired me in computers. So I didn't even use it. I do have computers all around here, and if they break, I know how to fix them for me. But I'm telling you, mm-mm. And if it becomes too difficult, then I just sell it for junk. I'm just saying, if I got to think too much, it's something metaphysical I don't really have to think about. I just know because it's in my bone. Giving people readings is no thought. You know what I mean? So I could understand that. So Jasmine has no problem with her daughter being a YouTuber. That is correct. So what I'm saying is, if she should get one of these for her children, even the oldest probably need this, and just help get them to see different ways of counting, especially. Okay, cool. That's one of my clients. Just to get them used to using math in a different light, like a number key, like a number line. She can get a ruler. She can get the little thing where it has like something like this to chart these charts like this, you know, 120 chart where you can teach them how to count like that, you know. Even getting them hooked on phonics. I have hooked on phonics for my son too. He does that. He does the games and stuff like that. They can get them the 10 frame, you know. I'm teaching. I've been talking to my son about. He knows how to tell time. He's in his second grade. He knew how to tell time in kindergarten, but he did not. We only worked on it to a certain degree, um, and then we had to revisit. We have to revisit every year. You still want to keep because you want to keep it fresh. Even though they learn something once, you have to keep throwing in their head. So I keep this around, and I'll be like, go get this. And I'm like, I want you to tell me what time 5:30 is. Tell me what time 4:45 is. Tell me what time 12:45 is. 1:45, 1:30, 1 o'clock, 1:15. You know what I mean? Stuff like that, just to get them used to, um, at the drop of the hat. They should know it like this, and and you don't ever see her doing things like that because she's always on YouTube. I can't tell nobody how to run their house. I'm just offering here some advice. Or this, did I show y'all this? Or this 10 frame thing. Showing them how to write complete sentences. This is what I'm working on for my grandchild. This is something I have for him. But it's in his room. I'm not going to go in there because it'll wake him up. My children are asleep. My son go to bed early. My son don't be up all night unless if it's the weekend or something like that or summer. I let him stay up, but not like that. I don't want to show you his name. But I have like a little. Let's see. A little box where I have where they learn how to tell time, where they learn how to add and stuff like that. I mean, it's all kind of things that she could do to educate them. Science. For science, my son learns. I even show my son how to make candles for science. You know what I mean? Or herbs. I'll be like, go in there for math and for science purposes, how to mix herbs. Like I had to make teas. I make teas. I have teas. I sell teas, y'all. So I'll be like, son, go measure. Go measure the red rose petals. Because I'm going to put that in a tea. Go measure that 1/4. Okay. He'll be like, okay. He'll go get the measuring cup. He'll put 1/4 in there. I'll be like, okay, well, I want you to give me 4 ounces of lemongrass. 4 ounces. Okay, look on the little thing and figure out 4 ounces. Well, Mom, you don't have 4 ounces on here. It don't say 4, so you gotta add it. You know what I mean? So it's different ways that you can teach your children without it being school 24 hours a day. That's how I kind of do. And I mark that down as science. I mark it down because that's science. That's mixing chemical. You know, it's not chemicals, but you know what I mean. Um, um, you know, then I get him to watch. Then we might go out in nature. We might go outside and look at the birds. I'm like, well, what is this bird doing? What did you know? We look through the window, through glass, through our I got a telescope, and then we'll look out at the stars. What star do you see? You know, it's all kind of different ways that she could do to educate her children besides YouTube. You could take them for a car ride, let them look at the stars, you know, or look from the from the from the window. But it's different ways that we can teach our children. I still don't think I do enough. I don't think I do enough. So I can imagine what she what she doing, but it's just the point. We have to figure out, she has to figure out what her children are passionate about besides YouTube is not the be of all ends. It's just, the children got to make money. I get the children should you should encourage your children to do a business, but you gonna take their money too, or is that their money? you know so I don't know. So my advice is what I'm saying. Educate, put more into their education. Put more into their children's education. Showing her children how to become more. Showing her children how to become more. Um, Showing her children how to become more happy. With through education and making education more fun for them, and showing them how to make a better way for themselves, and not looking at things in a way of just YouTube and social media. I'm sorry, y'all, I just got an order. I'm trying to make sure I do what I need to do. Um, so we definitely, so my advice is for her to make sure that she takes pride in her children. Um, takes pride in her children. Education, because education is important. YouTube is not. YouTube may not be here. For the rest of our lives, we might not have YouTube. Social media might. So she has to figure something out. One second, y'all. Give me a second here, y'all. I want to make sure I'm not typing what I said. Okay, so give me a second here. Okay. Okay. So you know it just makes sense to do that. Why go through the changes of not giving your children, a option to make some things happen? When that make more sense? Wouldn't it make more sense for her to take pride in her children's education, and take pride in who they are as individuals, and not looking at them? They look like check, baby, check, like commodities, and not as real people, because each one of her children have a personality. They have their own likes, dislikes. It's like Shirley Temple. Y'all remember that actress Shirley that plays that they played Shirley Temple, and how she was treated and all this hell she went through? That was hell. Her mother give her sugar, and even that dang on honey boo boo mama was giving her go-go juice. That's crazy. And you can't keep getting your children to perform, and that's you have to lessen them. If you're gonna have them on there, have them on for a second and get off. Don't tell their business. Don't talk on live with them running around like that. You know. So it just makes more sense. I'm sorry, I'm trying to send this thing. It's getting on my nerves. Uh it's getting on my nerves. I'm trying to get something to happen. I'm trying to do something here on my app for my business. Okay, I'm good. Okay, yeah, I already did it. I don't know why my thing is acting like it wasn't refunded. Okay. Okay. I'm good. Okay, y'all. I did what I was supposed to do. Okay, y'all. Whoo. Okay. Anyway, um, so my phone, y'all. Sorry about that. Let me get back focused. So, anywho, it makes I apologize. I'm sorry, y'all. I just get when it comes to my clients and my customers, I try my best to make sure that I do what I say I'm gonna do for them. And I want to make sure that everything's done right. Oh, yeah, sometimes having a business can be stressful. Sometimes, especially when things do not go the way that you need them to go. But especially mail. Oh my God. Let's talk about mailing. Mailing gets on my nerves. I love getting products to my clients, but I hate them. I hate the mail system sometimes. Not all the time. Sometimes I have no problems. But if the client gives you the wrong address, or they forget something in an address, it will come back. Or sometimes they may not get their mail. I've had a client not get something. It took them a whole month to get it, and it kept coming back and not even coming back to me, but going back to the mailing system. And finally, I had to get on them to put tickets on orders, and then to reassure that the customers getting their order, I had to send it off to them and do a whole nother tracking. Or I might have lost the tracking and forgot to put the tracking number in the thing, and I wouldn't be able to trace it back. Then I finally found it, and it's just crazy. I assure you. But anywho, y'all, my point is that she got to aim for something differently. Even being a stay-at-home mom, it I think it's a job within itself, y'all. Let's talk about that. For anybody in here that's a stay-at-home mom, please let me know if you're a stay-at-home mom, because within itself, just a stay-at-home mom and a wife. Y'all. Sometimes your husband will be calling you, and sometimes your family. For me, is it just me? I'm talking about. I'm supposed to be talking about Jasmine, but I'm here to share something with y'all. It's just me, but sometimes your family feel like you should drop everything that you're doing and do everything for them. Is it just me? It's like, just because I'm a stay at home don't mean I'm lazy. It's a difference. I mean, my house is clean. I do cook 4 meals a day. I do wash clothes every day. So Jasmine is complaining about clothes. I wash clothes every day. I mean, no, for real. I don't get really no breaks in washing clothes, because COVID hit. You gotta have those clothes. You want your clothes clean. And when you pull them off, it used to be a time where we may hang our clothes back up. No, you gotta wash your clothes now. Anytime you wear something one time, you wash it. Towels, because you don't want towels most. So if they get wet, gotta wash them. I have homeschooled my grandson for 2 years, junior high, and it was math for me. Woo, Lord, girl. I'm still dealing with grade school right now, so I could imagine. Now, I took calculus in college. Now, most people had calculus in high school. Okay, I was not good at math, I promise you. And when I got to high school, let me tell you something. When I did it in college, my professor did not speak English. He was from India, but he could write really good in English. And what saved me from that class, I gotta be honest with y'all. I want y'all to hear me out. What saved me from that class, what saved me in that class, I got a B. Okay. I barely got a B. I got a B because we got to use our notes on our test. And the test was actually more than the homework. I did excellent on the test. The homework. I mean, I did no, excuse me. I did excellent on the homework. The test, I was averaging probably about B minus, y'all, on the test. But I got like a B. I was getting like A's in on the homework. The test, and this was before the internet. The internet was out, but it wasn't popping. It wasn't like, you know what I mean? The internet was like, it was like dial up. Now he's a senior and it is great, and he is great in math. Yes, I bet he is. I'm trying to tell y'all. I'm trying to tell you. I mean, what saved me is that he allowed us to use our notes on the test. If we didn't have those notes for that test, I would have probably got C's or D's. I'm just gonna be honest with you, because math is not my strong point. I know. Listen, that was number one reason why I did not become a medical doctor, because one of the things that they kept telling us when I was in high school was that you have to have a lot of math. And I graduated early. I graduated when I was 16. And I'm gonna tell y'all why I graduated early. Okay, I'm gonna tell y'all. Because I got all my credits. I was like, I'm out of here. I double timed my credits. I was accumulating my credits because I didn't like school. I didn't like school like that, but I'm a lifelong student, okay? And that's the reason why. Then I had to come back and walk with my class. That was so irritating that my mother would make me do that. But that's a whole nother story. She'll teach them teachers like that. Um, but so so that's so that's one of the things that that's actually really scary. um to having to deal with all that, to have to deal with having to deal with that, and trying to educate and trying to go through all that stuff. It's just whack. It's just whack. I'm telling you, and how important it is to educate, your children. Even if you're not the smartest person, you don't have to be the smartest person, but you can hire tutors. It's all kind of things that you can do to get your children to point A and point B. I mean, hey, I'm certain things I'm good at, and certain things I'm not so much. In school, but the point is, if you don't understand something, or you not as good as you need to be in class, then what you have to do is you just have to do your best, and you have to get your children the tools to do it. And homeschooling, for me, being a stay-at-home mom, certainly helped me to be able to really be able to go through the work itself. And what you can also do is ask, hey, I don't know how to do such and such. How do I do this? You know what I mean? How do I do this? And what you do is you just go through it and you just figure it out. So I don't, that's one of the things that I don't get about her, and why she don't take that seriously. Why don't she take her why don't she take that seriously? Um helping children is beautiful. Helping them to get to the next level in their life, because you find enrichment with it. And I'm sorry, I'm still trying to do stuff on my phone. I don't know what's going on with my thing, but it's showing out and it's getting on my nerves. You know, so I find it to be just shameful that she doesn't take time with them in that way. Um, and I hope that at some point in time, that for their sake, that she encouraged them to do more work and to be less live. And if she gonna do videos, great, fabulous. Just show things in a better light. And I don't agree with Peach in advertising every negative aspect of your life and making money off your negativity. I don't exactly agree with that, because that is not helping her to go to the next level in her life. Um, it's not gonna help her. It's not, because all it's gonna do is get CPS to come after her. All it's gonna do is probably ruin relationships. That's probably gonna ruin that relationship that she has with Chris, that she says that she likes and loves him so much, and he'll never leave her. Um, so things like that, do we look forward to that? Does she look forward to that? Because everything is a profit and everything. And don't get me wrong, I mean, me as I'm an earth sign too. And yes, I do. It's okay to to uh to have get paid off of certain aspects, to exploit things in a positive light, to exploit certain things, not family, but I use situations, like using situations to better people. It has to be for a game, but it just doesn't come off like she's bettering anything. It more lines come across like she's not taking time out to really enrich her children the way that she should. Even having normal relationships, like she can't even go out without entertain entertaining the net. She can't even have a regular family time with her mother and her brother without filming it. Like, capturing. She said she want to create memories. Memories is taking pictures. When you take pictures, and certain things, certain pictures that I have in my phone will not be shown to the public. You understand what I mean? That would make sense, but Jazz doesn't listen to correct criticism. No. Well, she don't want to, because it's not paying her. Of course she's not. She's not gonna listen to that, because it's not paying her at all. She's not gonna listen to nobody, as long as people can prop up on her back. All they do is prop her up on her back, and when she get propped on her back, that's all she want. I'm sorry, I was trying to do something with my internet, my thing. Um, but I'm gonna go ahead and close this live off, because I need to figure out what's going on with this particular client, and I don't want to keep looking down, because that is not fair to you guys. And I do apologize, because I kept getting distracted, because I had to keep going and trying to figure out what exactly is going on with this particular client. I have to reschedule them, because something is happening on their end, and I don't want to keep doing that. So the memories of those children have her neglecting them. Yes. Yes, it does actually come off as certain forms of neglect. And I hope that she opens her eyes to it and don't listen to Peach. Because again, they're gonna start cracking down on these family channels because it's not right what a lot of these family channels are doing. It's not just her. It's a lot of them that aren't, but then you do see certain family channels that are pouring into their children. They're homeschoolers, they're educating them, they're doing a family channel, and they're all getting paid. You see the benefits, you see the children with new clothes. They're not begging people to profit them double H. They're not doing all this stuff, but they're actually trying to make a change. And it just gives me, you have to just be careful with exploiting people for the wrong reasons. And at some point in time, if you're going to do all that, then you need to take a certain percentage out of your check to set aside for them, and not you touching it and not buying everybody else, or buying love instead of buying the right love, right? If I'd rather buy my children love than buy somebody else love. I mean, and I don't even have to buy. Why do I have to buy my love anyway? And the thing is about Chris is that, it takes two. And that's what I was trying to say. I'm looking at it from an aspect of a man. From an aspect of a man, if I'm with a woman as a man, I'm not. But if you, as a man, if you don't have nobody pushing you to be better or to be greater, then what is he supposed to do? He's not gonna do it on his own. He's not a self-motivated person. He's not a self-motivated person. So how can he push himself to do anything on his own if he's not made to respect her? She doesn't make him respect her. He sits on video, clowns her. If she's paying half of the bills as she claims she is, and then she bought him a PlayStation. How can you respect somebody that puts their children who puts you above their children? You should never expect nobody to do that. And, but if she don't make him see that her children come first, then why should he respect her? He shouldn't respect her. It doesn't make sense for him to respect her. Why would he? He don't have no reason to respect her. So, I mean, it is what it is, y'all. Thanks for coming to my live, y'all. I really appreciate it. That's just some advice. If she's gonna listen, I really didn't clown her. I really didn't clown her. I know I usually clown her in chats, but I'm not gonna clown her live because I don't want to do that. I just be like literally playing around. But I don't really mean any harm. I'm just being my honest assessment and just some advice, and hopefully she works on. They have never been first or priority. Yeah, well, hopefully she'll have to listen to me, obviously. But hopefully something kicks in for her, and the anniversary and her ancestry line, as I did the reading prior to this one. Prior to I'm not gonna read now, but I did a reading. The last video I did was a reading for her. Hopefully she, like, her ancestry line connects with her and she listens, and they tell her to make herself a priority, make her children priority, and make her family, make the people that truly love her a priority. Mainly start first with her children, then she can work her way down. Herself, her children, and then she can work her way down. And if he is a person, if he steps his game up, then beautiful. But she has to force him to step his game up. He's not going to step his game up. So we can't keep blaming Chris. Jasmine's not forcing him to step his game up. Jasmine is not forcing him to be the man that, you know, that should be, because she's not forcing him to do that. I think the only way she will see it is to lose it. Maybe possibly YouTube though, but then she'll blame everybody else for losing her YouTube channel. She will blame everybody. She'll say, y'all, that's y'all fault. Y'all done lost the YouTube, and y'all done, made me lose YouTube, and this and this and that. And that's not right. And blah, blah, blah. So, anyway, y'all, let me figure out what's going on with this. Y'all got me talking. I got to figure out what's going on with this because I don't want to make another mistake, because I wind up doing this. I wind up doing this a long time ago. And so now I gotta make sure that I do what I'm supposed to do on my end. And I don't, my client did what they supposed to do. I just gotta reschedule their time. My website is acting funny on the scheduling. So I have to fix that. And it's on my end because I have everything blocked off for the wrong. I got a time that I have. I do fitness training for people. Um, for I have like 3 clients I do fitness goals for, and I have that blocked. I'm just sharing it with you. I have it blocked off for 4 o'clock, and this client's trying to schedule for 5 o'clock, and for some reason it keeps treating it as if it is 5 o'clock and it's 4 o'clock. Why are y'all coming in here now? So don't, hey, you keep talking. You trying to make me stay on here. Uh yes. That's the problem with them thinking YouTube is the only option. Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. I was talking about earlier how Jasmine doesn't have any aspirations. She doesn't give her children aspirations to do something else besides YouTube. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It seemed like it will be the time zone. Yes, I didn't say that, but yeah, you know where I'm going with this. But either way, it's still not set right. And I gotta fix it. I'm like, what is going on? And she's like, I'm trying to schedule for 10 o'clock and it won't let me. It won't let me. You said you book. I'm not booked for 10 o'clock. Double H Jazz will never, ever, never then either. But for sure, she needs an eye opener. Yeah, she hopefully will get an eye opening. I hope she gets one, because if somebody sending out my stuff, if somebody really being nice, but yeah, I really, she's not, she has to listen though to reason. And yeah, she definitely will get an eye opening. Hopefully her ancestors will kick in and show her that this is not the way, and to take herself and take her children more seriously, and understand she's not a cat and she doesn't have 9 lives. Yes, the old saying is, as my mother would always tell me, God blesses fools and children. But at some point in time, that does run out, because your ancestors and God, the creator, whatever you want to call your spiritual being, if you believe in it, will actually show you better than they can tell you. And I myself, as a 50-year-old woman, have been shown that in life, that you can't just keep hurting people. Like, I've been on both ends. I've been the hurting, I've been the hurter. And at some point in time, you can't keep hurting people intentionally, right? Eventually you're going to get hurt really badly. And it's going to show you better than it can tell you. How can they come to her if she is not open to them? That would just show her in a way where she has no choice, what will bring her to her knees. So she will be praying to a higher power, and she will be shown, like maybe she use or lose her YouTube or lose something that she values. You know what I'm saying? That can certainly happen. And they're not playing. They, your ancestors don't play with you. Your ancestors hurt you more than anybody. you know, your ancestors will show you, like, they can, because like I said in the reading, y'all go back and look at the video I did on her, the reading I did on her, and it just basically told you, like, her ancestry line of females is very powerful, and they have protected her for so long, her and her mom. But that's a whole nother story. So whatever, y'all. Let me go ahead and go, because I gotta change this time zone. I'll try to get on here. I'm gonna try to do at least once a week. I don't want to do YouTube every day. I can't. It's no way I could do YouTube every day. But I'm gonna at least try to get on here once a week. I'm gonna figure out a set time, and I'll come on YouTube, and I'll try to keep it going at least once a week. I'm just gonna do once a week videos, and let's see how that go. If y'all can get my numbers up to a point where I could promote and help my businesses, and that'll be great, because that's the reason why I'm here anyway. So y'all can help me promote my business. I'm not asking people to just give me cash apps, because that's not going to promote me the way that I need to. So anyway, but cash apps are nice, but that's not what I'm asking for. But I'm talking about getting my numbers up, get my watch time hours and stuff like that. I'm gonna do once a week. I'm gonna try to. But then tomorrow, y'all might say I F YouTube. But I at least do once a week. But I go back and forth because it's too much mess on YouTube, and people be in competition for no reason. I'm not competitive like that. I just do what I do, and I'll be like, all right, then deuces. I don't even fight over man, but like, either he want me or he don't. You know what I mean? I just always been like that. I'm like, oh, you're a better woman for him than I was. He didn't like me like that. He likes you. All right, girl, congratulations. I'm not mad. I'm not gonna be stank. Deuces. You know what I mean? So anyway, you have a good night as well. So thanks for tuning in, y'all. So anyway, help my number, help me watch time hours. I'll go back and watching these old videos I did. I didn't talk to y'all. I did some education. I talked to y'all about adoption. I talked to y'all about finding biological families. I talked to y'all about I don't know, all kind of stuff, healing and stuff like that. Anyway, thank you. Peace out.